We are at Bandhan Bank headquarters and want to understand that what is the strategy of the bank for the next 3 to 5 years. What does bank wants to do on the recovery front, on MFI, because there has been some concerns on the market in NPA front as well. I have with me Mr. Shekhar Ghosh to talk about the strategy, to talk about how he wants to take the bank for the next growth path. Welcome to ET Now. My first question will be, of course, where do you see Bandhan Bank in next 2 to 3 years?
Bandhan Bank have been grown in the last 8.5 years. We have now in that the 3 crores 20 lakhs of the customer base, and the advance size 1,07,000 crores. Deposit size is 1,12,000 crores as on September on that.
Right.
Whatever the figure achieved, we see that the huge opportunities of the bank to provide the financial services to every citizen of the country.
Right.
Though bank have been started as a microfinance organization, now is a full-fledged bank, is called the Universal Bank.
Right.
And we see that the not only opportunities is the bottom, also middle and the top. So that the all together, we are trying to grow in a rural, focus is more, and along with the urban.
Right.
Because the rural is a more population are living in there.
Right.
So there's a huge opportunities to grow on that. Whatever we've seen the growth in the last 8.5 years, we try to, though the pandemic little bit have been disturbed, but after that, whatever the position has come now, we are seeing that in the future it will be like to go to the same line of the growth to the bank.
Right, definitely. Let's talk about each of the verticals in detail. And first, of course, which bank has taken pride in the past has been the MFI business. You started from there, we have been very focused there, but if you talk about last few years, as a strategy, as a percentage of the bank, it has been reducing. So talk about this strategy, why so, and what is your plans here?
If you see that the bank 8.5 years before when we opened, our total book was in a microcredit.
Right. Definitely. I mean, that was the base of the bank.
That's the base of the bank. After that, we are gradually started to fill up the need of the customers in a different way on that. So they have a need housing. We have started the housing finance, and we are also acquired one of the housing finance company from HDFC.
Yes.
Which is a Groho Finance.
Yes.
That also helped us to percentage wise reduce the microfinance credit on that.
Right.
So in that sense, if you see that the other sector we are also started, the people coming to the bank branch and asking on that I need in a personal loan. No, I have a two-wheeler loan.
Right.
I have the four-wheeler loan. As a bank, I cannot deny. I have not that product.
So the bouquet of products you have to make available.
Make available. So
Definitely.
when we make it available, and then automatically my microcredit has come down as a percentage wise, not as a volume wise.
Yes.
And others product also coming up. If you see that the MSME is a big segment where we should need to support of that. Because MSME is so big in our country, and their contribution is a very big to the employment. Yes. And the export.
Yes,
so
yes.
that have been helped to the community to improve the economy. So we are also providing that services to them. For that reason today, if we see that the microcredit in a group loan, that's 33%, has come from 100 to 33. But if we see that another group of people who are from started as a microcredit as a group loan, now they are as a MSME. So these the people are added on that. So this is now 52% of the total book as a that types of customers.
Do you think that with the strategy of other bouquet of products being available in the bank, the share of microfinance is going to reduce further, and what is your idea of how it will look like, let's say next year down the line?
No, what do we see that because of this other product also like to grow, because there is an also demand, and other product ticket size is higher than the microcredit ticket size. So that they are percentage wise they are showing the higher. So percentage wise microcredit show the lower on that. But if you say that the total of 3 crores of my customer and the 2 crores in a microcredit. No. So that is the 2/3 of my customer is a microcredit, but the 50% of the book is a microcredit. That means their ticket size is small on that. For in that region, we see that book also like to grow more. So automatically it will be like to reduce as a percentage wise of microcredit. We have the plan on that by 26 will be like to come as a 26% of the group loan of the microcredit.
That will be the 26% will be the percentage share by 2020 FY26. Okay. So that is a fair idea. That means that other businesses will capture that. Do you think that housing finance business is that which is going to have the major share?
Yes. Next plan is there when the people are basic income increase, then the next basic need is their own house.
Definitely.
So we should be like to provide a house who are primary house is needed on that. No, we are targeted on that. Primary house, self-employment people, they have need on that. So that is the target. We have been seeing that as of now, our book size is at 25% of the book.
With the acquisition of
housing loan on that. And that have been, if you see, the 5 years before, our affordable housing book was in a 10,000 crores, 10,800 crores.
Right.
And today, after the 5 years, it has come now 20,700 crores.
So it has doubled.
We are focusing on that, how we can be build up book means that we are providing the affordable housing to the people on that. So next, though the pandemic 2 years have been disturbed, but if you see that the normal rate will become on that, it will be by 3 years will be like to double. So that is a plan on that. The total book by by 26, it will be like to come on that housing loan with 30%. So that is the way we are planning and
so the share of housing finance business is going to get doubled according to you in next 3 years?
3 to 4 years it
3
will
to
come
4
to
years. Okay. And what is the strategy here? I mean, you understand, this is one kind of a business where you have been not there. You have acquired Grow Finance. So what kind of focus you are keeping there? What kind of people you have taken, and how do you plan to increase that? Are you going to go all out in marketing? Are you going to reach out to customers? What is the strategy here?
No, strategy is there. We have the whatever number of banking outlet. We are 71% banking outlet in rural. So we are going to the tier 2, 3
small ticket
level
size
of the city, where we are getting these opportunities and attract the people on that. Why not? You can be build up this house, and we are ready to give the funding on that. So that will be helped on that mode.
Fair point. Now there are other, if I call it that, some pain points regarding EEB. There has been questions and you have answered them before in investor calls to our interviews. How do you see this business? Because that is something which the NPAs have been high, but your management of this portfolio, how are you doing that?
If you see that the microcredit, some basic things is there.
Right.
That is a group meeting.
Right.
Attendance in the group meeting, and they are jointly liabilities taken from each other.
Right.
So when the pandemic has come, but before pandemic, no, NPA is a minimum less than 1% on that. But in the time of pandemic, so no our group meeting happened, No people are coming to join. Staff are also not going on that. So that all discipline are broken. Again, it has been started after the pandemic. Again, rebuild of that. Group attendance, discipline, meeting. So in that sense, it will mutual help to each other. That will be some areas is coming very faster, some area come as a delay. So on that basis, the slippage or NPA point of view, little bit on going to this higher side.
Higher side. Now, talking about NPA management, last quarter you have seen that blip. But going down the line, once you think that the recovery will be in place and the NPAs are coming down, do you think that the things will be better if you talk about end of the financial year?
Yes, if you see that the last year to this year, trend is far better to repayment of that because the group discipline is coming back and the attendance is coming back and the people are getting the business. If you see that Indian economy is growing and they are also getting the business, that have been also helped them to recover.
Right.
You see that the first year after the pandemic, what happened? The people are some money taken from the others in the time of pandemic to run the family. First year they are trying to repay on that money. So that is some family are facing the challenges to coming back to this, the repay on that. After that now it is coming to the normal. So gradually it is coming better position on that. Compared to the last year to this year to the next year. I hope that that is the trend is very positively moving on that.
When do you see it below 10%?
Below 10% of the
First EEB you can say, and another
no,
overall
10% is not in actually the NPA.
Okay.
No, if you see that the total, if you see that last 2 years NPA is a percentage wise on that. If you remove the all pandemic issue on that, whatever earlier have been done, whatever the bank have been disbursed in the last after the April 22 onwards.
Right.
No, there is a 2.5% only.
Okay. After 2021, if you can talk about. And overall, is there any GNPA target by end of financial year, or you have 3 years target that you want to scale it down? I also saw that 780 crore NPA sale was on cards. So what about that?
Normally, it will be happened on that the NPA. I already mentioned how the trend is showing on that.
Right.
So couple of quarters later, you can find out on that it will become to very near to this, the pre-pandemic situation.
So you are saying that NPA will be pre-pandemic level by end of this financial year? No? No.
Taking the more couple of quarters on that.
Meaning in the next financial, by FY25 for sure?
Near to.
Near. Fair enough. I mean, that's a fair target to have, and we understand that the guidance part is a difficult thing to give as a banker. But let's talk about the other verticals. You have spoken about MFI, you have spoken about housing finance. Which are the other areas of growth?
No, other area, if I say that there is an MSME is a bigger area, which and NBFC. So bank are focusing is more of the MSME segment.
Right.
And MSME segment is a very good opportunities for us, for the entrepreneurs and for the country on that. So we are also focusing on that. So we have the plan on that. There is a 30% will be like to make a book from MSME and NBFC by 26.
That's a fair assumption, and 30% MSME. You spoke about similar kind of numbers for housing finance, and of course, rest bigger share will be MFI business.
And 6% will be the retail, which is personal loan, gold loan, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, commercial vehicle. These are the.
That is the plan for next 3 years.
Next year.
Welcome to a special segment on Breakfast Pe Charcha with CS Ghosh, and thank you so much for organizing this. Before we start this conversation, I want to know about these Kolkata Delicacies, if you can tell our viewers. So, I will want to start with this.
Yes, this is in the puri, no?
Okay. So, this is a staple kind of a breakfast in Kolkata?
You can be like to say that the people like this breakfast in the restaurant.
Generally, people are calorie conscious, but when you are in Kolkata, you must try this. So, of course, our plate has both our plate has both sweet as well as little bit tikha, if I would call. All kind of dishes are there, but if you have been there in the bank for over 8.5 years, if I ask you to look back at that journey, which has been those rasgulla kind of a moments where you were satisfied, happy, and which has been kind of a little tikha moment?
No, if you say that the life as a both is needed.
It makes thali complete and it makes life complete.
Yes, because if you not eat the tikka, you cannot understand how sweets is good.
Of course, I mean till the time you don't try it, that feeling will not be
That
there.
feeling will not come.
Understand?
So that and if you like to get the mitha, you should be pass on this road in the tikka. Otherwise, you will not get that the same.
That's a very good observation to be understanding the situation as it is, and without one other is incomplete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is when you like to reach some of the success point, you must be passed through.
So, in your career of 8.5 years and more than that, if you look back, which has been decisions, or I would say that moments where you have to actually build up things, you have to calm yourself, this is it and we can still go ahead. Tell me about that.
No, if you say that the moment has come to the life is in which date and moment I received a bank license.
That picture outside Reserve Bank of India.
This is the best in the life.
Fair point. Fair.
When the people are not in the expected, we are also not that much. This is the best life. I see that. And immediately when I started to process for the opening of the bank, and see that there is no colleague of mine who has the experience of banking. How we can be lying there? Run the bank.
Right.
So that is the painful have been started immediately on that.
Do you always wanted to become a banker?
No, I have not
That's
thought about
interesting.
it.
So what were your aspirations when you were 21?
No, I thought that I am an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Now you are giving loans to entrepreneur.
This is my opportunities has come. I will be very feel proud. I am supporting to them.
So when this idea of banking came?
Banking idea has come 2010, 11. You know that there is one incident happened in Andhra Pradesh, and people say that the government have been declared on that the microfinance cannot work in that state. I tried to find out what is the cause. Cause is there is an interest rate charging is high. And then I calculate up my balance sheet. I find out on that there is a total balance sheet is a cost of operation. 2/3 we are paying to bank to borrow money. And 1/3 is an administrative and HR cost. Out of this 1/3, 2/3 is an HR cost. I cannot reduce. Then 1/3 is administrative cost. I saw that my one office, 9 plastic chairs, 6 staff using bicycle, 1 table, and 1 fan, 1 tube light. How I reduce the cost of administration? I cannot reduce the cost of administration. I cannot reduce the HR cost. I cannot reduce the cost of fund. How I can reduce further? Then I feel about it. If is a one option, if I reduce the cost of fund, that means cost of borrowing, that may be the good. So it is only possible if I take the deposit from the public. And then I talk to the regulator, and regulators say that no, you are not allowed.
Eligible or allowed?
Allowed.
Okay.
And you are not eligible, you only eligible when you become a bank. Then I thought about it, why not I can apply for a bank license.
And then in 5 years, you were able to achieve it. Rightly so. Now, let me know more about CS Ghosh himself. Out of all these dishes which are present here, which is your favorite one? Rasgulla. I thought so. So, you have told me the Rasgulla moment of getting that banking license. Now, I want to ask that something, a kind of an advice which you will give to Mr. Ghosh, who started 8.5 years back. Okay, you could have done things differently. What would be those?
Now, if we see that within 8.5 years, if we see that what are the achievement? Not in the 8.5 years. If you see that the 8.5 years, one point I mentioned on that, I reduced the lending rate to my customer. Whatever the amount of cost of fund has been reduced, I pass on to the customer. That I have been done on that. Though little bit is a challenge has come to the pandemic time, it is and some prices come up because of rate increase, but otherwise we are trying on to do this and this.
Right.
And next point on that, if you see, before the pandemic, we are reached in that 35 lakhs of the borrowers, the women. Now we reached to the 2 crores of the women. This is a difference on that. Because of the bank, we are reaching to them. Because my funding is available in them. So that we have been done. Next point is say that before the ban, we have the 13,000 employees. Now we have the 75,000 employees. That means that 63,000 new employment generate for the country. No. Again, if we see that the women, we are meet them, we see that they are also running a very good enterprise. Their income increase. They are newly employed other people. If you see that the one women entrepreneur are created one job for the country, the 2 crores job they created.
Definitely.
So these are the impact has come to the society. And when I talk with this type of borrower, and they are talking about it, what they are doing this surplus. No, they are purchased the piece of land, they are making a good house, they are purchased some of the ornaments for the daughter. No. So what is some furniture purchase? So they are invested again in a good way, not in a bad way on that. So this is a contribution to the society. So that is, I feel that this is very huge impact has come to the country. And because of I become a bank, this is my opportunities I got it on that.
Definitely.
If you say the next thing on that, I have not even thought if I was or continue as a MFI, I can provide a housing loan to my customer. They have a now own shelter, And this shelter in the name of heart, which man is not maybe like. No, it's a fight of this, the men and women in the family have been reduced. No, so a lot of social change has come in there.
Definitely, I mean you're right about that. One final question I would want to ask regarding a tikha kind of moment again, not Rasgulla. Reserve Bank of India recently came up with the circular regarding increasing risk weights. Although you do not have that much portfolio, how much was the impact it had? And overall, if you talk about the banking as a whole, not just about your bank, do you think it was kind of a chilly kind of a moment, you know, that hara chutney?
No, whatever, it is the first one that a very small amount are impacted to the bank, at 25 basis point on this.
Right.
This is one. And you see that the capital is linked with the business. No, which business we are doing, there is some risk always is there. So for that risk is like to make some of the provision of the capital, how much capital is there. So that is a linked and given on that option. If you like to go to this type of business, you take little bit higher capital provision. It's a good, this is not in a very...
So it is going to have a better, I mean, it may not taste best when it is served, but it will have good effect.
I said that in the, you would point on that because of you are mentioning on that, you are eating is there, you can take another Rasgulla of that.
You can balance it out. One final question, you mentioned that you have a kind of liking for singing. If I ask you about overall your growth path focus which you have, which is the nearest song which comes in your mind which you sing often?
There isn't how I can be like to mention on this point. I like the one of the song which is singing by Bhupen Hazarika.
That is?
That is called the Manush Manusher Jonno, man for the man.
So that was Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh summing up all the things in just one particular song. And moreover, he has talked about what is the growth path plan of the bank, how he wants to evenly balance the portfolios which he has talked about, and moreover, the NPAs are going to come down in the years to come. Thank you so much for watching.